Hey guys, it's Kelly and you're watching That Smells Divine. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you my brand spanking new love. Y'all, the world stopped the day I smelled this fragrance. Move over, Delina. Before we dive into the video, if you haven't yet, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit the alarm bell to receive notifications of future videos. So you guys, the way I discovered this fragrance was super fun. You may remember a couple of weeks ago, I don't know, maybe it was a month ago at this point, one of my subscribers, the incredible Yuvia, sent me a giant care package full of decants, samples, and a full-size bottle of a fragrance that I have been obsessed with forever. So lo and behold, I was really excited to actually meet a new love in this box that she sent me that I was not expecting. It was a fragrance that I had heard of a lot and I had really no desire to sample it. Like I had it on my list, but it wasn't at the top of the list. Like it was something that I just figured, I was like, okay, if it comes across my path, I'll give it a whirl, but I really was not actively seeking out this fragrance, which just goes to show like how often sometimes notes can surprise you, or just something that you think you're not going to be that into, and then you try it and you're like, oh my god, the hype is real, you know? So the fragrance is This Is Her by Zadig and Voltaire. I don't know how you say it. You guys, this fragrance blew my mind. I'll list the notes up here or up here, but basically I'm just going to give you like my take on this fragrance, and then I'm going to tell you like what it reminds me of. Okay, you guys, this fragrance is just absolutely stunning. It's creamy, it's smooth, it's milky, it's lactonic, it smells almost coconutty, it's like gourmandy. It's sweet, it's incensey, did I say that already? It's kind of like, it's got this sort of like cardamom-y smoky thing going on. It is just absolutely divine. It smells totally different on paper. I mean, not totally different, but it smells a lot different on paper than it does on skin. On skin, it's absolutely gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous, you guys. The first time I wore this, I tested it. Actually, I had this dress on because this fragrance, side note, goes really well with this color gray. Like this, to me, this smell is this. Like, do you know what I mean? Do you guys ever put smells and colors together? This just, it just works. So I was going out running errands. I had this dress. It's just like a little sweater jersey dress. It's like kind of casual, but still kind of cute. And I went to the grocery store and I was like walking through the aisles. It was probably like 5 or 6 o'clock at night. So super slammed in there, super crowded. I'm just walking through and I'm like, oh my God, who is that? Who is that? Like I keep getting these whiffs. I'm like, oh my God, it's me. Like, I smell that good. That's me. Like, holy cow, this fragrance is so good. And yeah, I absolutely loved my experience. My own, like experiencing my own scent bubble was like so pleasurable. And then the fragrance continued to last and last and last and last. Like it's definitely on me a very long wear. And it stayed on my clothes until I washed them. So yeah, that I truly love about this fragrance as well. But yeah, I've heard some people, like there's some mixed reviews on this fragrance. A lot of people are put off by this slightly like barbershop feel that they get from this fragrance. I personally love that. It makes me think of Ian, my boyfriend. And it smells very soothing and calming to me. So on paper, this has kind of like an edible, like milky, kind of almost sour milky, like it smells a little sour on paper, which I saw in some of the reviews, people said that happened to them on skin. For me, that did not happen at all. It never smelled sour. But I get what they're saying now that I'm smelling it on paper, because this is actually my first time smelling this on paper. It does kind of have this sour milk thing going on. On skin, a little bit barbershoppy. I feel like that scent is more so when it's like hot, when you're outside, it's hot. I feel like when it's a little bit cooler, it kind of changes more into like an incensey kind of smell. So this fragrance, first of all, 2 scent memories that I think is why I'm in love with this fragrance. The first is that my partner and I have been together for 9 years. Yeah, 9 years. Wait. Yeah, 9 years this month, actually. Maybe 9 months today. I have no idea. I can't remember like the exact day that we like decided to get together, but it was definitely August of 2013. Craziness. Okay. So, as any relationships go, and this could be a whole different video, but our relationship has been at times a very rocky road. Like very, very rocky. We've gone through some major challenges together. We've also gone through some really difficult times together. We've gone through a lot of loss together. We've gone through just a lot of upheaval together. And there was a point in our relationship, like around 2017, where things really started to shift. And I think that we both kind of realized that like we're in this together, and our love really deepened, you know? And around that time, without going into too much detail, I feel like that was a good enough summary. Around that time, Ian started wearing, was it 2017? Whenever Telegramma came out, Telegramma from Imaginary Authors, was like right when we were really starting to like make some major growth spurts in our relationship. And so whenever I smell, if you haven't smelled Telegramma, I don't know why people don't really talk about that fragrance. I think it's delicious. It's kind of like a sweet barbershop-y smell. That fragrance now, that scent profile, will always elicit like these really positive, really grounded, loving, grateful feelings about my relationship. And so this reminds me of that a little bit. But also, even more so, what this reminds me of is in high school, I was friends with this guy, and his house, so I grew up in Massachusetts on the North Shore, and I grew up in a very historic town, and some of the homes there were like built in the 17 and 1800s, like the 1700s? Yeah, because I think there's a house there that's open for touring. I believe that was built in the 1600s. Like, it's crazy how old these houses are. Anyway, his house was super old, and his parents like really didn't want to do any renovations on the house because they wanted to like maintain it in its natural state as much as they could. And so his bedroom was in the attic. In order to get up there, it was like this, like the staircase was like super narrow and rickety, and then you pretty much had to like climb a ladder to get into the attic, and it was like this tiny little attic. And we would sit up there in the winters. We'd be watching the snow just pouring down underneath the streetlights outside. And we'd be sitting in there and we'd be watching surf movies. We'd be watching documentaries, you know, like just having fun, smoking pot, whatever. Can I say that on YouTube? And we would always burn Nag Champa incense. Do you guys remember Nag Champa? I feel like if you were a teenager in the 90s and you were somewhat cool, you were burning Nag Champa, at least where I grew up. But anyways, this scent just brings me back to being in his attic, seeing the snow falling outside, watching like some really cool documentary. I think we were super into City of God for a while. Maybe that came out later. Surf movies, burning incense, and just like being really high and getting the munchies. And so, yeah, this reminds me of that so much. Like, it's a very positive scent memory again. So basically, I think that my love for this fragrance it's this feeling. I've been lucky in my life that I haven't had a ton of negative experiences with men. I've had a lot of like negative experiences with romantic relationships, but those were because of my own blocks and my own insecurities and things like that. Yeah, I've been lucky to have had some really good men in my life. And I've also had some shitty men, but nothing crazy, right? Anyways, my point being that I feel really lucky to have had such grounding relationships with a few different men in my life. And especially with my current partner, like I feel so safe and so supported and so loved and so cherished. And to be honest with you guys, like I went for like a decade plus of never feeling that way in a relationship and always wanting that so badly and feeling like maybe I don't deserve that, maybe it's not going to happen for me, you know, etc. And so to now have that and to feel that way consistently day after day after day, and to be in a relationship where I know that we're a team and we're growing together and we're building this life together and that we're family and we have each other's backs, like that feels so safe for me. And it feels so yeah, it's everything to me. And so to have a fragrance that reminds me of that feeling of the safe kind of masculine presence, this very safe, nurturing, sanctuary, you know, to come home to every day. That's what this fragrance makes me think of. So, whoa, we got a little deep and profound there for a second, but I mean, truly, for those of you out there that haven't found that love yet, like, please trust me when I say that it's out there for you, because I literally never in a million years thought I would find it. I was so over the search. I was so lovesick. I was so like, just like, ugh. I was so, what's the word? Like cranky pants, just about everything. So if I can find it, y'all can find it for sure. And for those of you that already have this kind of love, and you know what I'm talking about, like, cherish it, because this is what life is all about. And that's what This Is Her makes me feel and think about. So you guys now know why I'm so obsessed with this fragrance. So this is going to be definitely a full bottle purchase, along with Delina, and they're gonna sit side by side right next to each other, because to me, This Is Her, like, really, just like I said, reminds me of this grounding masculine presence. And then Delina really reminds me of this fiery, kick-ass woman who's confident and taking over the world and changing it while she's doing so, you know? And so, yeah, I think they're like, there's such a dichotomy, if that's the right word. I'm trying to use my big words today. But yeah, like, just two such beautiful fragrances that elicit such different feelings. So anyway, I'm gonna leave it there. It was a little bit more emotional of a review than I've ever done, but hopefully it resonated with you guys. And if you like this video, go ahead, give it a like. And if you haven't yet subscribed, please do so. I would love to have you as part of the family. So that's it, you guys. I'll see you in the next video. Have a beautiful rest of your day and take care. Bye.